Today, we're going to hear about the adventures of a little armadillo in Jan Brett's Armadillo Rodeo. Armadillos, 1, 2, 3. Bo, let's go. Ma Armadillo called to her boys as they headed out to dig deep in the heart of Texas hill country. Stay close. Her boys didn't see too well, just like all armadillos, and she didn't want to lose them, especially Bo, who was always wandering off. 1, 2, 3. Bo, don't go getting distracted on me. But Bo already was. He was looking at a lizard. That Bo, he's so curious, he catches sight of that lizard, and here goes his mama with the other little armadillos. Curious as always, Bo followed the lizard down to Can Creek just as Harmony Jean came sliding down the bank from the Curly H, wearing her brand new boots. Pointy-toed, high-heeled, hand-tooled, chili pepper red boots with fancy cutwork, tall tops, and a Curly H brand. She was here to scuff them up. Today was rodeo day, and Harmony Jean was not about to ride in a barrel race looking like a tenderfoot in new boots. There's Bo running after that lizard. And there's Harmony Jean. Look what bright red boots. And there's Ma Armadillo with her other baby armadillos. She found a muddy place and hopped and splashed until her boots had a worn, lived-in look. Please, she whooped and hollered, look at me! Won't you just look at me? Bo's ears perked up at the sound of that pretty voice. He lifted his head and squinted. What he saw was all that red leather, shimmering and prancing over the creek bed. Why, for sure, it looked to Bo as if he'd found a friend, a rip-roarin', rootin'-tootin', shiny red armadillo. Bo grinned. Howdy, he shouted. There on the sides, we see the other armadillos. I think they're digging for food. And there's Harmony Jean in those red boots splashing in the water. And Bo thinks he's found a friend. Harmony Jean, job done, lit off through the back 40 to the Curly H. Bo never looked back. He blinked and squinted as he trundled after his bright red friend as fast as he could go. Wait up, he called. Back at the creek, his mama twitched an ear. Is that hollerin' one of my boys? She asked. Armadillos, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, Bo! He done it again. There goes Bo after Harmony Jean. And there's some folks coming by on horses. And Ma Armadillo, she realizes that she's missing her Bo. What a little rascal. Bo arrived at the rodeo just as Harmony Jean was swinging a leg up on her pony, Spotlight. He saw the perky nose and silvery tail of the red armadillo leaping up ahead of him. Wait for me, Bo called. When Spotlight felt Bo on his back, he gave a hopping buck. Harmony Jean stayed aboard, but Bo was tossed high in the air. The little armadillo landed in the dust. As he unrolled, he smiled, brushed himself off, and shouted, Hey, pardner, you're my kind of friend. There's poor Bo getting bucked off of that horse. And there's Ma Armadillo. Maybe she's going and asking the other animals if they've seen her bow. That looks like maybe a roadrunner and a coyote. Bo tried to catch sight of that rootin' tootin' red armadillo, but he had to move fast. As he zigged and zagged across the arena, Ma Armadillo, with her 3 boys, was hot on his trail, asking everyone she met if they'd seen her bow. Look at that man riding on the big bull. And there's Ma Armadillo. She meets a rattlesnake and some sort of deer, asking around if anybody has seen her bow. Bo was still looking when he saw the armadillo headed for the barbecue. I'm right behind you, Bo called. There's Harmony Jean. Looks like she's got a nice plate of food. And Bo's right after her. And there on the sides we see Ma Armadillo. It looks like she's talking to some sort of wild pig and maybe a jackrabbit of some sort. But before he could catch up, the armadillo disappeared under the blue checked tablecloth. Bo dove after him and peered around. His friend was nibbling on something green, so Bo ambled over and took a big bite. It was a red-hot, bright green jalapeno pepper. His mouth on fire, Bo ran out and doused his head in lemonade to stop the burn. Delicious, he gulped. What's next? Have you ever eaten a hot pepper? Poor little armadillo's mouth must really be on fire. And there goes Ma Armadillo, looking for Bo. She's met some sort of longhorn. Chow time over, the cowhands got out their fiddles, and everyone went into the barn for a little dancing. Bo struggled to see his pal. Finally, he spotted a flash of red right in the middle of all those stomping feet. Bo two-stepped toward his frisky new friend and cut in. And there's Ma Armadillo asking a horse where her bow is. Harmony Jean went tap, slide, tap with her right foot, then heel stomped, high kicked with her left, and Bo was hurled high in the air. As he landed in the hayloft, he let out a rebel yell, Yahoo! Not far away, Ma Armadillo heard the commotion. That's my bow, she cried. There's Bo flying through the air as everybody's dancing. And it looks like Ma Armadillo and her other armadillo babies have gotten into a hat over there on the side. By the time Bo made it down the hay chute, the dance floor was empty. Harmony Jean and her friends had settled around the campfire. She looked down at her boots. They were starting to pinch. She slipped them off and tossed them behind her. That looks like a lot of fun sitting around the campfire. And here comes Bo after his friend. It looks like Ma Armadillo's looking in a big pitcher and around some flowers. Bo bounded up to a pointy-toed, high-heeled, hand-tooled, chili pepper red boot. Howdy, he said. You're a mighty hard fellow to keep up with. My name's Bo. What's yours? His new friend didn't answer. Bo stepped even closer. He could see the perky nose and the shy smile. "What's next?" he asked. Here's Bo trying to make conversation with his new friend. And there's Ma Armadillo with the other armadillos on the sides. They've gotten into a wheel spoke there. But instead of answering, his friend fell over, plop, and Bo was left looking down an opening. He stuck his head in and sniffed. It didn't smell like an armadillo. He poked his nose against the leather. It didn't feel like an armadillo. He squinted up close. It didn't even look like an armadillo. Nose in the air, he wailed, "You're not an armadillo!" Not far away, the sharp ears of his ma recognized the voice of her boy. His three brothers heard him too. Their search was over. "Boys, let's go get Bo and head on home." Poor Bo, realizing that his friend is not an armadillo. Ma Armadillo must be relieved to find her boy. "Time to sleep, Bo," his ma said. "We have to go out and dig tomorrow." "Yes, ma." But Bo's thinking about the curly H. He knows that whenever he wants a change, he can mosey on down for some red hot chili pepper excitement, and his ma will always be there to bring him home. Here's Ma Armadillo curled up to sleep with her boys, and there's Bo in the middle. It looks like he got a little bandana on his adventure. What did you think of that rascally little armadillo and his adventure? That was quite the excitement for him. I hope you enjoyed Armadillo Rodeo, and we'll see you next time.